Alright, number 6, we've got my y variables are going to cancel each other out. And so we've got a positive 2x and a positive 3x. That's going to give me a positive 5x equals, and a negative 2 and a positive 4 is going to give me a positive 2 after I combine those, because that's the same as 4 minus 2. I'm going to divide the left side by 5, divide the right side by 5, and I've got x equals 2/5. Alright? So now I get to use any one of these equations. Let's see which one I think is going to be easiest for me. I'm going to pick the second equation because it's already got a positive y value, and that's what I'm going to try to solve for. So the equation is 3x plus 3y equals 4. And I'm going to take this 2/5 because x equals 2/5, and I'm going to put that in for x. So that means my equation is going to look like this. 3 times x plus 3y equals 4. And in for x, I'm putting 2/5. And I'm going to go ahead and turn that 3 into a fraction, so 3 over 1, so that I can multiply these. So I've got 3 times 2 is going to be 6 over 1 times 5 is 5, plus 3y equals 4. And I'm going to have to subtract 6/5 to get y by itself, and then subtract 6/5. We're going to have to review 6th grade stuff where we are subtracting fractions. So let me subtract the fractions in this space on the left over here. So I've got 4. I'm going to go ahead and turn that into a fraction. 4 over 1 minus 6 over 5. Alright, and I'm going to set this up for my common denominator. Common denominator between 1 and 5 is going to be 5. And the way I go from 5 to 5 is I'm going to multiply 5 times 1, and that gives me 5. So that means I multiply the numerator times 1. 6 times 1 is 6. So that didn't change at all. Now the way I go from 1 to 5 is I'm going to have to multiply times 5. So that means I multiply the numerator times 5. 4 times 5 equals 20. So I've got 20 over 5 minus 6 over 5. And I'm going to keep my common denominator. So we've got 5 as my denominator. And I'm going to do 20 minus 6, which is going to give me 14. And it is a positive 14/5 because I have more positives. I have 20/5 positives and only 6/5 negatives. Alright, so there's more positives. Alright, so now that I have this, I can complete my equation over here. So let's see, where did I leave off? I've got 3y still on the left side equals 14 over 5 on the right side. And so now I need to divide the left side by, let's see if I can slide this over. Nope, I can't. That's alright. Alright, so I'm going to divide the left side by 3, and I'm going to divide the right side by 3, but I'm going to set it up like this. Divide it by 3, because this is most likely how your 6th grade teacher taught you to divide fractions. I'm going to turn 3 into a fraction, so 3 over 1, and then the 3 letters that you have to know is keep it, change it, flip it, or the 3 words anyway. So I'm going to keep the first fraction, I'm going to change the operation to multiplication, and then I'm going to flip this third fraction. So whenever I do that, it's going to look like this. It's going to be, I'll kind of do it over here on the left side. So I've got 14 over 5. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to change it to multiplication, and I'm going to do the reciprocal or flip that second fraction. Now I just multiply straight across. 14 over 1 is 14, and 5 times 3 is 15. So that means y equals 14 over 15. There we go. So now let me put my final answer in coordinate pair. Let's see, what did x equal? X was 2/5. So I'm going to put my coordinate pair. I've got x is 2/5 and y is 14 over 15. There's my solution.